What's up, guys? Oh, I meant wait.
There we go.
Yeah.
Start. Now we're on it.
Welcome to Rise to Elevate Podcast. I'm your host, Marcellus Seabrook. And this week, I got the one and only, the founder, co-founder. But I want to give him his props because it's hard to run a business, man.
Yeah.
But the founder of Reforged Gaming Lounge, the lifelong gamer, and the newlywed.
Yep.
We didn't say that in the promo, but the newlywed. So congratulations on
Thank you.
to that. David Barker.
What's up, y'all? It's a pleasure to be on here. It's a blessing to be here with you, man.
I'll hurt my hands
excited
for you,
for it.
bro, because your energy is crazy. Like, I've told him before we started that a lot of people that I've worked with, and if you're watching this, don't take it personal, but they don't have that energy. Like, they're not like really like, I feel like they're zombies. Like they're, like they don't have no type of happiness in them. And you just have that like flair in you since I've met you, actually.
Yeah.
Because,
I get it from gratitude.
Yeah,
I get it
gratitude?
100%. I get it from, it's 100%. My energy level is based out of gratitude.
Right.
100%.
And then some people can't control it. Especially whenever you're like too happy and stuff like that. I think that's when people get scared of you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
have to have a nice little balance.
Yeah.
But if you have it grounded in a really good sense, so like if I really highly value the things that I'm thankful for, so like I'm very thankful for my wife, my father, my brother, and all of that, but I'm also incredibly thankful for the people that allow me to do what I do for a living.
Right.
And that's my community members.
Yeah.
So all of the people who have come in and come over and over and over again to the space, those are the people that I have a huge amount of like value in and a huge amount of gratitude from.
Facts.
And so like that sort of keeps my energy levels, that keeps my positivity high, it keeps
You
the momentum
grounded.
going.
Yeah, it keeps you grounded.
Absolutely.
Before we dig into everything that you kind of just explained, because I wanted to ask a question on it. Where are you from?
I'm born and raised Chucktown.
Chucktown?
Here and Edisto.
What? Oh, Edisto. Wow.
Yeah.
So like, what part did you mainly stay in?
I've lived in West Ashley. I've lived in North Charleston. Tried Mount Pleasant. It's too damn expensive. But I'm based out of West Ashley right now. It's a nice spot. I really like it. Might move back to North Charleston. Not sure yet, but right now I'm just.
Where'd you go to school? Like, where'd you go to elementary school? Try not to dig too deep in middle school and stuff, because I'm gonna ask some questions like leading up to it.
So I went to elementary school. The school doesn't even exist anymore. Edisto Beach Elementary. Wow. It was a small school that was underneath a policeman's house and in his garage.
What?
Yes, it was 36 kids in between first through sixth grade, and the playground we had was like a dirt/sand lot in between the two buildings because the garage was disattached.
So what was like the daily, like, what did y'all do every day then? Because school is so big, so it's like, you could go to different, the library and stuff.
So we would rotate between little sections underneath the house, because all the houses in Edisto have stilts. So there was a little like couple of rooms underneath the house that were like different classrooms, and sometimes like the older classes, like the 5th and 6th graders, would be in one class together, and they would sort of like share schoolwork, and the teacher would rotate between sort of like lesson plans.
Wow.
So it was a lot to handle for the teachers, but because we were such a small class and a small school, they kind of got a lot of individualized attention.
Yeah.
Like my grade was me and 2 other dudes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, is it like a particular reason or like?
It was just what it was. There were 2 options. One was a public school, and then one was a school that you had to technically own property on the island in order to go. And so they wanted to do like just a smaller school, just like very community based.
Wow.
And they were able to pull it off, but eventually they were so small that they just had to get absorbed by the bigger school.
That's insane. I've never heard a school inside somebody's house like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
What year was that, if you don't mind me asking?
I stayed on Edisto until I was like in 4th grade, 5th grade. And
was that like 1990?
Yeah, I was born in 92.
So that's why it's like, because you think that they can do that now?
It's hard to, because of probably the regulations, but if they wanted to, they would just have to get the accreditation for whatever you need to for elementary
And people
schools.
probably do buy houses and start like preschool stuff in it though. So I don't know why I'm acting like I never heard of school inside of, what I mean? I'm like astonished.
Man.
I'm like, what?
It's wild.
You got taught in the house? But
Yeah.
what was your favorite subject?
Oh, dude, it was definitely literature. I got in trouble for reading.
You can speak very well too. I give you like, for real, like,
thank you.
Admire your like how you can speak, and like your wording is good too. But I could see. I just wanted to relate on that.
I loved reading when I was a kid. I got in trouble in class for reading in like during math class and like science class. So I would like, how you have your little cubby hole that's in the desk.
Yeah.
I would have my book right there, and I'd be reading during math class.
What book?
Dude, anything I get
The
my hands
Hatchet?
on. I read The Hatchet. I
love The
remember
Hatchet.
Redwall.
Yeah.
Redwall was like this cool little kids fantasy thing about like it was basically like King Arthur, except the characters were mice.
Yeah.
Instead of mice and
Oh
rabbits and stuff.
yeah. Or no, I think I'm thinking of the cookie. The cookie.
Give a Mouse a Cookie.
Yeah, that was
a
a
good
classic,
one.
man.
Then they had like the Narnia books as well.
Yeah, Narnia
like,
was ahead of its time.
yeah, pretty much anything.
I think everything back then though was ahead of its time. Like Lord of the Rings was insane, dude. I'm so addicted to Lord of the Rings and The Matrix.
Tolkien was decades and decades ahead of his time.
Yeah.
So,
but I do want to say like, and we can kind of dig into middle school too. But what was something that you kind of like focused on at that age? Like, what were you doing? Were you gaming or like were you like hanging out with friends? Were you getting in trouble? Like, what was your daily feng shui and like?
So elementary school
Younger
was
you.
super basic. Like I had a Genesis, like a Sega Genesis with a couple Sonic games and Street Fighter 2. But I grew up basically like I would be outside all day. I'd ride my bike through the neighborhood. My buddy, who was also in my grade, we would ride bikes together. We would hang out at each other's houses.
Stick guns.
Stick guns, forts,
my favorite.
running through pluff mud, getting cut up by oysters. Like that was my sort of go-to thing. I didn't really become more of a hardcore gamer until like middle school, high school, when I got like a GameCube and then a 360. But
were you like the kid that had to like finish their homework first before you got to play the game, or were you just able to have access to like?
My mom was like super into making sure that I got my stuff done first. So like she was a stay-at-home mom, so she was able to like make sure I got my homework done, any projects I needed to. I'd then help out with like cleaning up, doing dinner, and then she would let me just do whatever I wanted.
No, that's what's up though. And I think whenever you're at that age, it's like it's easy to fall into stuff like like playing games and everything, but it's easy to be like consumed with whatever's around you, you know?
Yeah.
And then the older you get, you kind of like lose like less attraction to stuff.
No, that's
you know
100%.
what I mean?
Yeah, you sort of it kind of glazes over a little bit more when you're an adult.
But there's no like there's no age frame that like it just happens. It's different for everybody.
It is,
you know, and like it just
a lot of
like
life scenarios change.
I guess that's a wake up call, right? Or a reality,
right? Well,
reality check.
You have priorities you have to sort of start putting in front of you when you're an adult too. So, I mean, when I started getting into middle school, it changed a lot in middle school because my mom passed when I was like 10 from leukemia. And so my dad became a single parent like very, very quickly. So during that, when I started transitioning into middle school, I became a lot more quiet, a lot more just like to myself. I kind of just shut stuff out for a long time. And most of the time I would just be in my room playing video games. I'd be playing GameCube and playing on the Xbox.
What's some like advice you could give to somebody who's maybe like, you know, I wouldn't say have gone through what you've been through, but just to be able to stay strong and to like to not give up in life at a young age, not right now.
At a young age?
Yeah, because you know, I mean, you know, they may not listen to it, but anybody needs that. Everybody needs that wisdom and
right,
you know, just advice on how to keep going.
Yeah, understand that as much as it sucks for you, it sucks for everybody else. So. My dad, I didn't really appreciate this until I was older, how much my dad struggled to be a single dad, to be a single parent, because it's tough. He was raising 2 kids basically by himself, having to take care of us at school, sports, and then work a full-time job. And so the amount that he sacrificed and how much he had to put up with us, because we were starting to then become teenagers, and teenage boys are just a huge pain.
And you start like just doing reckless stuff too, because you're, you know,
you're right.
Just life.
So the big thing I would take away is just like, hey, you know, realize that, you know, your parents are sacrificing a lot when they lose their spouse as well, because 50% of their entire sort of structure is just ripped out overnight. So appreciate what they're doing and don't be a pain in the butt. Right. Don't be a pain in the butt to your parents. And even though you're struggling, find solace with your parent who is still with you to be able to find that strength together and not feel like you have to figure it out on your own. That's
and I'm proud of you, bro. And I'm glad you're here and you're able to tell your story, because that's what this whole podcast is for you to be able to tell people, not even tell, but express to people what you've been through, because you never know what somebody's going through. Like somebody at the gas station could be going through the same thing as you and they don't know how to keep going. You know, and yeah, man, because I've kind of told you my life before we started the pod, and like people wouldn't even believe me. I told you like 1% of what I've been through, and if I told you the 100%, you would probably be crying with a thing. But that's like, you gotta just get up and keep going, because as much as you have that sad story, nobody kind of cares, you know?
Right. No, absolutely.
Sad reality.
It's the thing is like no one cares. Just keep going.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. And that's the one thing that when you're, even as an adult, especially when you're an adult, it's like, yeah, your friends will be like, yeah, man, that sucks. But at the end of the day, they got their own stuff that they got to take care of.
Facts, yeah.
So you have to make sure that you've got your priorities straight so that way you can focus on what matters to you and keep elevating.
And it's not going to be easy. You know what I mean? It's never, nobody ever, if someone tells you that life is easy or the stuff you're going to go through is going to be easy, then.
No, they're lying to you.
They're lying to you and they're trying to make you, which I get people are trying. Yeah. But anyways, how was high school?
High school sucked. High school fucking sucked.
Why? What happened?
Well, it was, because I had to keep moving with my dad and stuff to different schools all the time. So by the time that I'd gotten to middle school, like everyone had their clique, everyone had their friend group. And I was able to have a couple of friends, but I didn't do well in school sports. Like I sucked at basketball.
Yeah.
I didn't hit my true growth spurt to keep up with kids in baseball because I'd played baseball for 10 years. And so
at least you tried, though. I'm not trying to. I don't know if you stopped or anything, but at least you tried. 10 years in a sport is actually insane.
I loved it.
Dog.
I love baseball still to this day.
What position did you like?
Second base and left field.
Wow.
So I rotated between those positions, between infield and outfield. The high school I wrestled for a couple of years, but middle school and high school were rough because I got bullied a good amount. So
me too.
I don't hold any sort of like hate towards
any
people that I can't because I don't know what the hell they're going through.
Yeah,
but
right. It still doesn't make it right. Like if you're bullying people, even as an adult, you need to get a life, bro. Because
adult bullies, how much trash do you have to be an adult bully?
Hey, that's
absolutely, that's ridiculous.
That's actually funny.
But but once again, it's like I was already quiet. And I was like nice. It was hard for me to like talk crap back to people, so it became an easy target, and that's a bit on me. And even when I was on the wrestling team in high school, I never quite felt like I was part of the team. Because even then, like my own teammates would start picking on me.
So it wasn't a mind thing. It was actually like stuff that was like showing you signs that they were really trying to bully you.
Oh yeah, they would throw shit at me. They'd push me into lockers and shit. They'd hit me in the bathrooms and stuff. It was rough.
But that was the same way with me until I got to about, and I'm not trying to like be relatable or anything like that. But I just like I was bottle cap opener for about 3 years, like my teeth and stuff.
Oh,
I had a big gap, so everybody would be like, "Field goal, goal, 3 points."
Yep.
So I know I definitely feel you, man. And there's some point where you kind of just have to block out the noise.
And that's what I did. I did, and I found that through video games.
Yeah.
So like I would just go home, and after I got my homework done, all I would do was play video games.
Right.
And then I found, through like a couple of different video games, like a really cool group of friends that now I basically consider family. Yeah. Those are like my boys, and they all live. It's so
weird how gaming you can like some of the people you never seen them ever in your life, and you could have played games with them for 20 years.
Yeah,
and then you meet them in person, and they're like what you like, who you played with.
No, that's so the cool thing is that I actually, after several years of playing with them online, they were all up in upstate New York.
Wow.
And I eventually visited upstate New York, hung out with them for a week.
Was this still high school or no?
So this was
kind of after?
This was early college. So like second year or third year college, I ended up going up to meet them in real life. And we spent about a week or so together. Then I did it again a couple years after that. And then they came down here. And then after they visited here, they eventually moved here. So like all of my boys are now all like back together.
That's lit, man. That sounds like a movie right there. But I do want to, so I can dig into college because I don't want to get lost in high school. I only got to ask one question, which was how was high school? But what was your first job? Like what was your
construction?
No, how'd you do it? What was it?
So it was great. So in the South, in the summer, it's hot.
Yeah.
It fucking sucks, right? It's humid. And so
especially on black concrete.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
So what I had set up myself a job where I was going to work in an ice cream parlor. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, that sounds like a great job. It's cool. Plenty of air conditioning. You're serving up sweet treats.
How much do you get paid?
I was going to get paid like 17.
Yeah.
And then my dad was like, no. You're not doing that. You're going to work construction. You're going to work 6 days a week.
You're going to become a man.
Well, he's like, you're going to learn. No, his thing was like, you're going to learn that work sucks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? He's like, you're going to learn that work sucks. And the only way that you're going to ever sort of find out that way is to do a shitty job and find a way to claw your way out of that. Yeah. So I worked construction crew. I worked landscaping. I worked irrigation. I worked concrete. I eventually got into a trucking company I worked for a number of years, and I was stuck in that cycle for a long.
So were
long
you
time.
like going to school and working on weekends?
It
and
was
going to
it was
school,
mostly
or?
summer stuff.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but during college, I did end up working like part-time during the school year for a number of things. But when I would go back to Charleston, it would go right back to that construction/trucking job.
Right. So I do want to ask, where did you end up graduating, right?
Yeah.
Where'd you graduate from?
Coastal Carolina.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations, bro. What was your majors and stuff?
Psych. So I just graduated with a degree in psychology with a certificate in gerontology, which basically covers like old people. Right. So that's what I was really into. And then I ended up going to grad school for a year and a half for lifespan developmental. Wow. So you get to sort of study how people develop physically and cognitively throughout their entire lives.
Mm-hmm. So I feel like, when you think about Coastal Carolina, you think about like partying and stuff like that. Was it that bad?
It was great.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And I mean it respectfully, but like, do you think that it was in a good way or a bad way? Like for your life, not just enjoyment.
Yes and yes.
Or pleasure.
So it was great that I was forced to socialize. Mm-hmm. I was forced to, learn about people in a lot more of a deeper sense, where there's a lot of really good people out there and there's a lot of really bad people out there. Correct. And it takes a while sometimes to learn about who those people are, especially in the dating scene, where like I hung out with this girl for 2.5, 3 years, and all my friends kept telling me that she's nothing but trouble. She doesn't give a shit about you. She doesn't care.
Was it?
And I was blinded.
Yeah,
and it took forever until I finally realized that.
Yeah.
And then I finally broke free from that. But it also, I got to, meet a lot of amazing people that inspired me to do the things that I love. Mm-hmm. So I have, everyone has good experiences, bad experiences when they go to college, but on the socialization level, it really allowed me to sort of develop in a huge way where I got to talk to people better. I became more confident.
That's where you just got to be thankful of what you've gone through, because there's things that you go through that shape you, obviously. I mean, it's pretty cliche, but it just really makes you who you are now. And without those situations or those people or that girlfriend or that, that girl that you were with or for a while, then maybe you wouldn't have been where you're at right now.
Oh yeah. I mean, it probably, and eventually the next, I was with her for a while, like on and off, and then I basically just like partied around for about a solid year, and then I eventually met the girl who is now my wife. Yeah. So
congratulations,
we got
by
very
the way.
lucky at that. Thank you.
Because marriage and being in love and the lovey-dovey stuff. Did you guys ever done the spaghetti scene yet together?
Oh no, absolutely not. If I tried to take any of her pasta off her plate, she'd stab me with a fork. Absolutely.
Hey,
not.
highly suggest it. If you are trying to, hook your girl and make her love you forever, just get the spaghetti and make the spaghetti long enough in her plate and your plate, and then you just randomly. Yeah.
Here's the thing: if you can cook,
I was joking.
If you can cook, that's a big green flag.
One. I just learned how to cook like a year ago, so I feel bad. But.
If you know how to like listen and communicate, that's a huge green flag. Yeah. And then, ladies, if you can make a man a loaf of banana bread.
Okay.
If you can make a loaf of banana bread for your man,
or a buffalo chicken wrap, I like
that
buffalo.
Works as well.
Yeah.
Okay,
but yeah, I agree though. Like I think if you are with somebody who doesn't cook, I think there's a time period in the relationship where there's going to be like, okay, you gotta start cooking. Yeah. I can't be the only one cooking. I mean,
that's a huge deal.
Everybody's different.
Well, especially if you live together, like you're having to constantly. There's a split of duties, right? And some days. People tell you like a relationship is 50-50. I'm like, no, it's not. No. Some days it's a 70-30. Yeah. Some days it's a 40-60. Some days it's 50-50. But you try your best to develop a relationship where hey, I usually do this. She usually does this. And you kind of just, and some days, hey, I'll take over that, or you take over that, and you just figure out a really good groove that works for you as a partnership. Mm-hmm. But I do the majority of the cooking, but it's not to say that she's not a bad cook. Like I do.
Hey, it's like, that's me too. So I burn everything I cook, man.
So when you're online with your boys, you're playing video games, right? And you're on Discord or whatever. One of the best memories I have before we got married was I was in my office playing video games with all my boys on Discord, got my over-the-ear headphones on, so I can hear everything, but no one else can hear what they're saying. Right. I smell something burning, and I'm like, what is going on right now? And then 5 minutes later, my girl comes in and she goes, hey, so I made you a grilled cheese sandwich, but I burnt it. So I was going to eat that one.
No.
So I made you another one and burnt that one too. So here's the least of the
burnt part,
too.
yeah.
And of course, all I can say is, she made me this. I'm like, thank you, baby. Thank you so much. I
Yeah.
appreciate you. And my boys in my ear are dogging me. They are talking so much smack.
Yeah, they're like, bro, you girl.
They're just chewing me apart, trying to get me to break, trying to get me to laugh. And it was one of the funniest and sweetest moments, just because that's how that friendship
It's
worked.
the little things too, man. Like, you know, some things like that people don't take appreciation of, especially when it comes to your food, you know?
Yeah.
Because if I got a burnt grilled cheese and it was from my girl, I don't think I would be mad. I would be kind of like kind of the vibe you're on. Like, just like, did you eat it?
Oh, yeah. I wolfed it down.
I would eat it too.
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe that's
I'm not
why.
wasting bread and cheese.
No, for real. But no, man. So yeah, I do want to ask one thing about college before I kind of talk about, you know, how you became a co-founder, you know, founder of your lounge and stuff. But what's some advice you can give to anybody who's entering college?
Oh man. Don't feel like you. Well, actually, no. If you don't know what your major is going to be and you don't know what you want to spend all that money on, don't go. I've seen so many people just waste hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loans, it's like, I'll figure it out when I'm there. I'm like, don't. Get a job, join the Peace Corps for a year, go to the military, go do anything but spend $120,000 to do what you don't know what you want to do yet.
Especially if you get in debt like for life.
Oh, it is.
You know, some people don't ever pay it off.
You'll have Social Security get deducted for paying that shit off, and it's horrible. So when you get there and you know what you're going to do, dial in what you're focused on. Like, stay really on top of your grades, stay really on top of everything, and then everything else is just extra. Because if you're putting that amount of risk and that amount of money down, make the most of it. And then also make friends with all your professors, because they are some of the coolest people out there. They have all this cool life experience. They have all of these great connections that when you're trying to leave and go for something greater, the better connections that you have with them, they're the ones that are going to help you get like internships. They're the ones that are going to help you get into grad school. They're the ones that are going to see that you put in the effort, and they'll help you out.
Right.
You'll have friends and stuff, but they're not going to be the ones writing letters.
No, they're not going to be the ones studying with you and stuff every night and stuff. So yeah, I definitely, or even helping you learn, you know?
Yeah.
But that was good advice. I think a lot of people, when they get in college, they kind of choke and they start, you know, following the route that everybody else does, which is partying, drinking, blah, blah, blah.
And there's time for that too. You can definitely have fun, party responsibly. Definitely don't get behind the wheel.
Yeah.
Like,
No
definitely don't. I had at least 3 people that I knew in college die from DUIs or die from drunk driving. So definitely don't get behind the wheel, and be smart.
Right.
Just be smart about the stuff where you go.
I agree. So Reforged Gaming Lounge.
Yes.
Let's get into it for a little bit. How did it start, and what like made the inspiration to even become Reforged Gaming Lounge?
So before the company really even started, Chris and I each had our own sort of vision of it. When I was growing up, when I was playing with my friends, it was always this cool idea of, hey, it would be so awesome to be able to create a place where people can just come together and play video games and drink and have fun and stuff, kind of like a modern day arcade.
Right.
And when I was in college, I was helping out with the computer science club / gaming club, and they would all have these big LAN parties where people would come, and all night they would play video games together, eat pizza, drink sodas and stuff like that. And it was such a fun time. It was a really cool experience. And I was like, man, it would be super cool to be able to see this in the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And then when I left grad school and started helping with my dad, I was kind of just figuring out, okay, what am I going to do? And a friend's dad was like, hey, I'm going to this networking thing. And there's this guy I want you to meet. His name's Chris. And I'm like, okay, cool. And Chris was at this event, and he had a bunch of like consoles. He had some PS4s and some Xboxes. He had a VR rig, and he was basically doing like a pop-up event at a brewery where people could drink beer and play video games. Okay. And I was like, well, dude, how can I help you with this? And he's like, well, I need to can you help me move some boxes around real quick? Because I need to start packing up. I'm like, sure. So I just immediately start packing up, helping him load his car up, helping him do everything. And then I started helping him do these pop-up events. And I told him, I was like, hey, how can I help you get this to where we really want it to go? Right. And he goes, well, if you want to be a partner in this, you just got to put in the work. And I was like, yeah, I'm there. So I owe a lot to Chris, who sort of took a chance on me because I was a little bit younger than him. And I was like, I wanted to prove to him that I could put the work in.
Right.
So I showed up to every event. I would work a full shift and then immediately go to events with him, do stuff, do pop-ups. We were working Saturdays, Saturday afternoons, Saturday evenings, but I worked Saturdays. So I do a full shift of manual labor and then go work with him.
It's dedication.
Yeah. And so it just took us years and years. We were doing pop-up events. We were really starting to grow. And then we were going to do a lease on a building. And COVID happens. And we're like, okay, we can't
So
do
y'all
this.
would have been came out then.
We were hoping to launch in like
that's
2020.
crazy. Wow.
And then the
Was it
pandemic
the same
happened.
location?
No, it was on.
okay.
It was going to be a much larger location on Rivers.
Wow.
In the middle of Rivers Avenue.
Not trying to be weird. Everything happens for a reason.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
And we ended up having to just wait through COVID. We ended up taking care of our families and taking care of our friends and stuff during COVID. Drained a lot of people's bank accounts. And so in 2022, Chris and I were like, okay, let's regroup. Let's make a go with this. Let's start saving up again for the small business loan. And finally, in early 2024, we got the lease for the piece of property.
Yep.
And then we got the business loan like a month later.
Right.
And so after like 9 months of construction and all this, like having to go through insurance for liquor liability and all that, we finally were able to
How'd you
open up.
come up with Reforged Gaming Lounge, or the name in particular?
So that was Chris's idea. So Chris came up with that idea, is that he wanted to take the idea of the classic arcade and he wanted to evolve it, improve it.
Which you have.
Not completely
Or you
destroy it and make something new. But it's almost like you take this sword right here.
Right.
This sword maybe one day will be rusted and bent and damaged, right? Well, you could scrap it and turn it into something completely different, or you could put it back in the fire, pull it out, strike it with the hammer, do it again, and reforge it into something better. And that's what the concept that he has, is to reforge the arcade into something better, into something stronger. And that was what the concept was for Reforged.
Chris, you did a great job. That is a crazy. That's a good
name.
thing. I almost cried. Because it was just so perfectly like worded too, and like that's cool, man. I would have never thought that. I thought whenever I first heard Reforged Gaming Lounge, I thought about Halo,
Yeah,
like
the forge.
forging, and I don't know. That's kind of where I was like, yo, that should, And so like, what days are y'all open?
Yeah.
What kind of events do you guys hold? I obviously gaming stuff, but like, can you go in detail for us?
So we're open Wednesday through Sunday right now. On Wednesdays, it's like 5 to 10 or 11. Wednesdays through Fridays. Saturdays, Sundays, it's like 12 to 12. So we're open all day. But on Sundays, we open up a little bit earlier, like 11 or 10. And we do brunch and anime. So we call it Brunchy Roll. And that's been really cool.
That is cool.
That's been
I'm
a
about to
really
pop
fun
out.
time. It's a really cool, unique community where people can just share all the things that they love about anime, and whether it be the TV shows, the movies, and everything like that.
Yeah, and he doesn't just have them on like one TV. He has them on like 3 different TVs. And I think that's the best part, is like you're not just watching one anime.
Right. People just request what they want to share. And we can put it up, and we'll just allow people to sort of share what they love. And it's been really cool to see that community sort of come together and foster and develop. And the same with the gaming stuff as well. I mean, we do a lot of fun little community events. We just started doing video game trivia night on Wednesdays. We do a tournament pretty much every Saturday.
I got you. You ready? You ready? What is the button? What is the blue, or what button is green?
On the N64?
Nintendo Switch 64.
On the 64, the green one is B. The blue one is A.
Yeah, he got me with that one. That's the trivia nights if you guys go. I thought that was really cool, because you don't hear trivia stuff like that about gaming. I don't hear it that much.
Yeah.
But I do want to ask, like, what gaming events or what tournaments do you have coming up, or is there anything that is like, I wouldn't say like big, but just kind of on your like top list right coming up soon?
So we just yesterday released our March events calendar. So we've got a lot. This one's probably going to be our most like action-packed month so far. Yeah. So we've got, starting from the end of March to the beginning of March, we're having Charleston Southern and the College of Charleston do a 2-day exhibition match against each other in like 5 different esports, from Rocket League to Overwatch to Rivals. what is it? Not CS:GO, but a couple of like 5 different events.
Rainbow Siege?
No, not Siege, Smash as well. That's going to be another one. But they have like 5 or 6 events that they're going to be competing against each other, and we're going to be hosting them there.
Wow.
The last Saturday of every month, we do a Fortnite tournament for people. It's a nice little age range between like kids and young adults. Sometimes we'll do regular, sometimes no build.
Right.
We have a Mario Kart tournament coming up on like the 15th, which is going to be sweet. We love our Mario Kart tournaments. And then we're kind of building that momentum up for when Mario Kart 9 comes out in the summer.
Yeah.
So that's going to be super fun.
Are you getting the new Switch?
Oh, absolutely. I think at least 2.
Yeah.
So
they look nice. I kind of like them. Mm-hmm. They look the same in a way, but I think it's going to be better, like
Slight
a better.
Yeah.
They always I feel like yeah. But so do you have any like big goals or dreams that you want to do at Reforged Gaming Lounge? Like, because there's always room for improvement. There's always expansion.
Yes.
What's something that you can kind of tell people that we're to look out for?
So for smaller improvements we want to start doing more weekday events for people. So as like Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays pop up, we want to do more for people during the weekdays. Something small and simple that people can easily swing by during the work week and have fun. I want to start doing events for families who have kids with autism and several disabilities, so that way they can come in and sort of have a spot just for them for a couple of hours. Yeah. So that way they don't have to be overstimulated with the crowds, the loud noises, flashing lights and stuff.
That's really great though, that you even branch off to doing that, especially when you think about gaming's meant for everybody. It doesn't matter what you are, what color you are, what age you are, what you do. I mean, there is some things like if you're out here just doing stuff, you don't need like murking people. You don't need to be a gamer, especially playing GTA.
And then another big thing is I want to be able to keep our doors open for TOs. Like that's another big thing. So like there's a lot of really talented TOs. The fighting game community has some really talented people in the lower state. A lot of tournaments and stuff, and people always keep bragging about Greenville and Columbia, but Charleston has a really solid talent pool.
Yeah, we're really a big wide variety of talent in Charleston. It's not even just gaming. It's a lot of stuff that people are sleeping on with Charleston. Dream collab?
That's wild.
Especially with gaming tournaments, like you could do so many tournaments. I don't know them all, but I know there's some good ones out there.
I could see Phil Spencer would be rad, like a dream collab from head of Xbox. I could see there is a guy by the name of Dex Badgett, who is he is one of the community guys for Call of Duty. He is a local. He knows Chris and I already, and it'd be really cool to do something with him. There's also a gaming company that is coming to Daniel Island, and they're going to be opening up an office for support and game testing. Yeah, and I'd really like to be able to start working with them because we can help host sort of like beta test events. We can help host launch parties and stuff at a local level. Yeah. And that's the one thing that an infrastructure like us provides, is that we have a consistent local presence. Yeah. Rather than having to be like, okay, where are we going to have this venue at? Where are we going to have this venue at? We want to give people a reliable spot to consistently be able to put on events, whether it's tournaments, game launch parties, any sort of venue event that people are looking for. We want to be able to give people something that's consistent and reliable.
Right. I agree. Is there anything else you want to cover on? I want to talk more, but I also want to make sure I'm structured on time. We
also have your all's tournament that's coming up here next week.
So that's the thing, is I'm dropping this interview after the tournament. So it's kind of like, we'll probably do a public interviews to kind of talk about the outcome.
So coming up, but by the time this podcast will come out, we'll have run our first tournament with these guys, Rise Elevate. They're going to be doing a double header, which is wild. So it's going to be for Smash and NCAA football. And that's a really cool thing. Speaking of consistency and reliability, that's a really good first step for you guys starting to do in-person tournaments. And now if you have the ability to sort of piggyback off of the success of the first one, and be able to build more and more at the local level. Exactly.
And that's why I love that you're a Halo person, because that's our next one that we're working on.
Really?
Yeah, Halo 2 or Halo 3. So it's like, that's why I'm like, yo,
Yes.
this is crazy that like just everything happens for a reason. And I'm thankful for you guys for even meeting you guys. And I'm glad we chose to see the post on Facebook. And me and my partner Frank was like, should we go do it and meet these people, you know?
Absolutely,
Because when y'all hopped on Rivals, that was a sign.
Yeah.
Like that was it. Like we were like, they're on top of it. This is a trending game. You know, because college football and you know, Super Smash, you know, that's been excessive, but college football is all right.
Right.
But I think like Guitar Hero tournaments, like these different type of things that could bring people together in different ways. It's just beautiful.
Well, we're
And
starting to do Rock Band stuff. Pretty
Yeah, I
soon.
saw that,
We're about to. We have to get one more Rock Band controller,
which is hard to find.
Yeah.
They're so expensive too. Like I tried to buy one and they're like $200-$300. Like, I don't know. I bought one from the flea market. It didn't work.
Oh, that sucks.
I was so mad.
But we got a Beat Saber competition coming up next Saturday as well. So if you never played VR, that's a really cool game to get into.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be a high score competition. Like, hey, play whatever songs you want, whatever. And whoever has the highest scores gets prizes.
Right.
So
Yeah, no, it's like that. I want to make sure I check and record it because I have this thing in the back of my head.
yeah, you're good. No, it's good to be obsessive over that.
No, it sucks because I've done it one time. And, you know, even just a couple of days ago, we were doing public interviews and we forgot to have the mic on, which is like, we just bought those public mic or the small mics.
Yeah.
So we're not used to using them like that. So I don't know, man. Like, I think failure is part of growing. If there's no type of messing up or anything, then there's no type of like what I just did now. You know what I mean? Because then you're just going to be like.
Right. Well, if you're like, failure is a part of the growth process. So it's just like when a forest fire comes in and just destroys an entire forest, right? That's not defeat. That's just you're burning away all the dead wood and you are making room for new growth.
Right.
So anytime you fail, you're shedding some sort of weakness off of yourself. Now you can let it fester and you can let it rot and infect the rest of you, or you can shed the dead wood.
Or your surroundings.
Exactly. You can shed that dead wood and make room for new growth. And a lot of times that comes through fire. Fire burns away the dead wood. Challenge is the fire, and that challenge is usually where you are pushing yourself to the biggest breaking point. Sometimes you're going to fail in that challenge, whether you're trying to start a business or hit a PR, something as simple or as difficult as that.
Right.
You know, you're sometimes going to fail at a certain step. But it doesn't matter. You take that in stride, be like, okay, let's see how we can improve. Let's see how we can evolve, elevate.
Rise to elevate.
Go forward, right? And so like, okay, I'm not hitting this new PR. Am I hitting my calories right? Am I sleeping right? Am I doing everything I need to make sure that my body's
Are you being
recover
honest
and grow?
to yourself?
Yes.
You know, that's important because a lot of people will sit there and say they're doing what they can, but you can do more. You can always do more. That's how I felt. Because in the last strive of the mile, I was like, I got to go hard. Like, I can't go to bed tonight, like yesterday. I can't go to bed tonight not knowing that final strive of my mile, I didn't try my hardest, you know? Even interviews and stuff, I hope you enjoyed this.
Yeah,
it's been an honor. Interview 121. The journey to 1,000 is crazy. And, dude, I hope you guys enjoyed the tournament if you came. Even for the next few ones that we probably will work together on. They're only going to get bigger. Shout out to Ralph the Baker. I've been in the link with that.
Good.
So we might have Ralph the Baker at one of the gaming tournaments. So I don't think they're ready for that one yet. But,
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm
We're
ready.
gonna make it ready.
Yeah, because I don't know if you know what he makes, but he makes like some crazy food. Ralph
I'm
the
excited.
Baker. Yeah.
I'm excited. No, dude, I'm happy to be here. I'm blessed to have you invite me. I'm blessed for
Been waiting
so many
for this
things in
one
life.
too.
Oh
you know?
yeah.
Yeah. Interview 121, David Barker. Can't wait for the next one. The next one's going to be fire because people know you now. Well, not like that, but you know what I mean? People know, like this interview, they know about your life. So now let's talk about what's going on presently.
Yeah.
How, more advice for business and, gamers.
Dude, if you ever want to do a business one for at least young entrepreneurs, I'd be more than happy to talk about what I want to know.
I normally do a 6-month grace period just to kind of like give people time to, like, you know what I mean, with the eyeballs and stuff.
Which means I'll know more.
Yeah.
that in 6 months.
That is a fact.
Yeah.
Fail or growth,
Exactly.
It's beautiful.
Failure is growth.
It is. Where can we find you on social media? I meant to ask that real quick.
Yeah, dude. So you can find Reforged on Facebook, Reforged Gaming Lounge. It's also on Instagram. We have our website as well where we post all of our events. We have a Discord as well. So we always try to keep everything very community focused. So if you're looking for all the community events and things that we're constantly trying to do, hit us up. Facebook, our website, and the Discord are probably the top 3 places to go.
Y'all got to get that YouTube going.
I know.
YouTube's important, bro.
I know.
I do want to do this because I've been moving kind of fast towards the end because we're almost at like 40 minutes right now. Do you have your phone on you?
Yes.
Can you pull your timer out?
My timer.
Yes, sir. I meant to do this before I said, peace out and stuff, but we're just going to knock it out real quick.
What you got for me?
So put a minute as a timer. And I'm going to ask you a list of questions, and you just kind of got to say either one. You know what I mean? So, for example, it'll be like red or blue.
Gotcha.
Okay. You can leave it up on thing because in the next thing that we do, I'll have different questions.
Okay.
And just so you can
just let me know when to hit start.
Okay. Now.
Got it.
Say a word in Spanish.
Aguacate.
Plane or car?
Car.
Rap or country?
Rap.
Favorite color?
Red.
Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Movies or television?
Movies.
First job?
Construction.
Favorite shopping store?
Best Buy.
Cat or dog?
Cat.
Would you ever skydive?
Yes.
Summer or winter?
Winter.
Deepest fear?
Disappointment.
How tall are you?
5'10".
Favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Flip-flop and shoes?
Flip-flops.
How long does it take you to get ready in the morning?
10 minutes flat.
Do you snore?
Yes.
Cake or pie?
Cake.
And the last one, what's the capital of New York?
Ooh. Oh.
It's a good one.
Albany.
See, this is where he would get the $50. So next time you hop on, I'm gonna have different ones.
Okay.
But the people who actually get everything good. How much time did you have left?
I had 5 seconds.
So, dude, if you would have missed it, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm working on that, and I got another segment I'm about to start doing too on the next. I think by interview 40, I will probably be on top of all this stuff, and it'll be like really good.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm just trying new stuff and just seeing like what works. And
Yeah,
how'd you
dude.
feel about that? Did you like that?
I like that. Put me on the spot. Made me think real quick. It was like that final little quiz part from Family Feud.
Oh,
Yeah, I like
think
that.
about that.
I like that a lot.
See, this came out of nowhere. Like, I just woke up one morning and was like, yo, I got to do this. So
No, and constantly different questions is good too. 'Cause
Yeah.
It keeps people on their toes. That way they don't get to prep. Say like I'm gonna watch like the last 3 interviews
Right,
and be like,
yeah.
oh, okay, he asked these questions. I
Right.
know exactly what I'm gonna do. And then
lately,
you
I've been doing
spring
it
on.
backwards. So the last one I did it backwards. Yours one's so I've done this 3 times. So
Okay.
I'm eventually change it like
Yeah.
all the questions. But for now, I just been trying to see. But dude, I enjoyed this flipping interview, dude, because
Yeah,
like
dude.
I can't stress it enough how much I love this and this, like, your energy and everything that you just said, your story. It just came in me to where I want to keep talking. I want to
know.
keep doing this interview. But again, guys, interview 121, David Barker, the co-founder of Reforged Gaming Lounge, the newlywed, the lifelong gamer. It's been an honor.
Blessed to have you.